Welcome back to the Slightly Off Topic podcast, where it is I, Demonic, with the homie Mario.
What is up?
And today we didn't do a little opening for you guys because I decided to drink coffee today, and I don't have a can, and I'm tired of being left out.
You could have had some carbonated coffee.
I could have some carbonated coffee, but I didn't want to pay for it since I have my Death Wish coffee. And
yeah, you already paid for that coffee.
Yeah, so why go into more debt? And buying stuff that I already have and I don't need more of.
Well, if you did, I'd forgive you.
You forgive me.
I will forgive that.
You know who wouldn't forgive me, though? Would be the credit card loans, the credit card companies. So we have a smorgasbord of topics that we're going to talk about. But like always, we started discussing something pre-recording.
Yeah, pre-recording.
And because that's what we like to do, we like to just talk shit, and then next thing you know, we get into really, really good conversations, and we're like, why aren't we recording?
By accident.
And this is one of them right here. So right now, we're not going off any news articles. So, Mario, all right, would you like to introduce the first topic?
Well, we were discussing the fact that the Supreme Court had shut down the student loan forgiveness proposal, basically, right. Saying that it's unconstitutional to forgive those loans.
Right.
So you agree?
I agree. I agree with the Supreme Court. Yes.
And I disagree with their decision.
You disagree with their decision.
Yeah.
All right. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to state your argument on why you disagree, or should I state my argument on why I agree with their decision?
Well, I don't mind. I'll start.
All right.
The reason I disagree is because I believe that education in its totality should be free.
Right.
Period.
Right.
At any level, at any and all levels, it should not be something that's behind a paywall.
All right.
So because I think it's only a plus for society in total. Yeah, some people will get dumb degrees.
Don't be taking my arguments I used earlier, right?
They might get dumb degrees, but for every 10 of those, you might get a doctor who, had they not been able to go to college for free, would not have even attempted it.
All right, so you're saying that you'd rather sacrifice nine dumb degrees to get one good degree.
Yeah, so let's put it into perspective, how difficult it is to get a doctor that we have to bring them in from overseas.
Right. Okay, so
just to fulfill the fact that some low income neighborhoods and especially in the South, there's a lot of areas out there where they have to get their doctors from overseas because there's not enough U.S. doctors here.
Right. Okay. So this is why I disagree with this. All right. I will meet you in the middle, and I do agree schooling should be free.
There I win.
But to a certain level. I am biased on this part, and I will admit it, all right, because I do see a lot of degrees as useless. Just because you got your doctorate in liberal arts and you're going to tell me about this splat on the wall and why it's a beautiful painting, or you tape a banana to a wall and tell me why it's like a reconstruction of modern society and all this bullshit, I find that useless, all right? I find that a waste of time to go tell me why Hunter Biden's paintings are the best thing since Da Vinci or whatever. Who's it benefiting? That degree right there. I get that you said that
you're talking about the liberal arts degree.
Yes. In all reality, who does it really benefit?
You don't like art?
Honestly, not like that.
What do you think's on your shirt?
It's art.
And you think it looks good, right?
Yes, but I can guarantee you this person didn't get a liberal arts degree to make this. And I know because I buy from this company and I know the artist.
There's no guarantee.
I kind of do.
Okay, fine.
All right.
But you're looking at a web page right now. Somebody had to design it. Somebody had to pick those fonts. Somebody had to make those letterheads. Somebody had to do all that.
So you're telling me that somebody that did all this right here had to go into hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt that I can learn doing on YouTube?
You can learn to do it on YouTube because somebody learned how to do it in college.
Right, exactly. So, and like I said,
like you said, you learned it on YouTube, right?
Right.
How much did you pay to learn that?
Nothing. Well, I mean, if you think about the electricity bill, the Comcast bill, I know.
Overall, you paid nothing to learn that skill.
Right. Correct.
All right. You took it upon yourself to do it.
And like I said, there is some degrees that I believe are useful. All right. You telling me that somebody had to learn this right here to make websites, that's fine. That's coding. All right.
Okay.
That's useful in society. I'm talking about somebody that goes and appreciates or values art, whatever the hell they do, right?
Alright.
To
But so you're using an extreme example.
and because a lot of people go into it, everybody
And
wants.
a lot of people come out of it with. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get the highest paying job. Perhaps the amount of money they invested in it, they're not going to get back.
Now, hear me out. All right, I'll agree to disagree with you on that part right there, in the liberal arts degree. Okay, I am using an extreme example of it.
And that's
now,
fine. I'm
let
all
me
for
use
extreme
let me
examples.
let me use another example.
Okay.
All right, have you gone to college?
No.
You haven't gone to college. Do
No,
you know
no.
somebody that's gone to college?
Yes.
All right. Was their first subject going into college the subject they stuck through with the whole entire time and got that degree in that field that they were going to go study?
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
All right.
They're very successful.
All right. Of course they are.
Yeah, it sucks.
I shouldn't be talking shit.
Yeah.
All right. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Do you also know a lot of people that have gone to college and did their 4 years, their bachelor's? No. Wait, what's the one where you just go into 4 years? That's bachelor's, huh?
That's your bachelor's. I believe,
Okay,
yeah.
so they got their bachelor's, and then they went into the field that they wanted to do, but then switched up like halfway through.
None.
You don't know none.
No.
Okay, because that's a lot. That's
I believe that's
those are a lot of cases.
I believe there's a lot of cases.
Right.
I don't know any. You asked me if I knew some. I don't know.
No,
any.
I know.
But
What
I'll
I'm
agree to
asking
say.
you- okay,
I'll agree to
'cause
say that.
I know of.
There's a stat.
I actually know of a lot of people in my personal life that have done that very thing, where they go into thinking that they're going to do one thing, then next thing you know, halfway through they switch up careers, or then again they switch up careers. All
Why
right?
do you think that happens?
Huh?
Why do you think that happens?
Because like our failed educational system, they don't go into teaching you. They don't go into the counselors. Did you have counselors going up when you went to school?
Yeah.
Okay, they don't tell you exactly. They don't guide you on what you want to do. They guide you onto what they think is a successful field that your grades are good for.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, because when I was gonna go to college or whatever, and I had. I'm an idiot, guys. All right, I did not have good grades. All right,
No,
so
school's not for me.
Yeah, they were trying to give me these choices, and like basically all of them required degrees of some form or another, you know, and none of them were trade though. All right, they were actually trying to get me into like I don't remember the top of my head, but it was some office job. There was an office job. There was a I think most of them were like office jobs, but. I don't know. Like it basically required you to get a 4-year degree, and then on top of that, a whatever other degree that they require you to get. All right. So that's basically unnecessary schooling that I have to go for. All right. So I did go to college, but I went to college for I think it was a semester. 1 semester, and I went for auto body mechanic. So
Okay.
I was basically like repairing dents on cars, and I painted my truck and all that right there. So that's what I went to college for. Only did that thing right there, and then just never went back. All right.
All right.
So now, basically, what I'm trying to go with this is that people always switch up a lot of people switch up their career, their majors. Why isn't it now falling under me because somebody wants to keep on going, or somebody keeps on taking out these student loans and keeps on getting them forgiven, and they're taking out $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, and they're still undecisive and basically wasting all this resource that, for instance, could go into somebody else, you know, but we're wasting it on this person that's indecisive on their career.
Okay. Whatever I don't have the stat in front of me, but whatever that stat is, I feel is irrelevant. Because we're a very rich country that spends a lot of money on a lot of useless things. And if one of those useless things is somebody trying to figure out how to get their, you know, what they're best at, how they can help society and, you know, be a productive member of society in the best way possible, if it takes them a couple tries, I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, I mean,
So at the end of the day, you're telling me
you look at military budgets, for example, all right, and you're talking about $50,000 for a tire.
Right.
Okay, you're talking about building a train track. All right, and you're talking about an estimate for $3 billion, and suddenly it jumps to $6 billion.
Okay, I could say that I
There's a
do
lot of
agree with you.
waste. And if I'm wasting, I would rather waste on this person trying to figure out how they can best be a productive member of our society.
All right, I
However
agree
that-
with you. I
however
agree
shape
with you
that
there.
takes.
I agree with you there that government is wasteful on money.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, I hate government for this. One of the reasons why I hate big government, right? Because they take a lot from you. And granted, to your point earlier, that it is taken out once and distributed to all these other places, right? So like, let's just say like maybe what like 0.5% or 1% of the taxes that are taken out of me are actually going into like, student loans or whatever.
Right.
I get that. Right. But as a collective, it is, what was it? Right now, it would have been 500 billion, right? That would have been just basically disappeared. Right. So why is it that I have to pay all of my debts? There's nobody coming to help me out. All my credit card debts that I've used, right? On dumb stuff. Let's be honest, all right? It's not, for the betterment of society or anything like that, Why is it that I have to get a job, pay for my own stuff, but you as an adult are not responsible for paying your own debts? Why is it that you had to take from me somebody that, okay, like I said, I did go to college, but I didn't go to college. You know what I mean? I paid for it out of pocket. So why is it that somebody that you're trying to take away from somebody that didn't benefit, or, how would I say that?
Because I want to see your kids go to college for free. Because I would give up a portion of my income to watch your kids go to college for free.
I wouldn't.
I definitely would.
So this is honestly, I wouldn't.
So we're talking about. You
want to know another reason why I also don't, because I agree that schooling should be free. It should be, you shouldn't have to pay, because what is it? Like, the United States is ranked on, like, it's hella, like, if not middle, low to, like, educational.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that everybody who's going to go to college is going to come out better, smarter, faster, whatever. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that, like you said, for every 9 or 10 that go in and switch up their degrees and do all kinds of crazy things with it, you're going to get 1 or 2 that actually go out there and get their very important degree in, I don't know, let's start throwing things out there. Aerospace science, neuroscience, doctors, medical doctors.
Right.
If people can just be a doctor for free and we could just start churning out doctors left and right, I mean, that'd be pretty good for our country. So
now let's be honest. Okay, I'm kind of, all right. Let me pick your brain a little bit. All right. You have in this example,
okay,
you have a life-threatening disease.
Yes.
And you have a choice between 2 doctors.
It's COVID-19 and I'm dying.
And you use that word on YouTube.
Whoops.
Okay, so you're dying.
Yep.
Right? And you have 2 doctors.
Yep.
All right. One of them paid their way through college.
Okay.
To get where he's at.
Okay.
And the other person went for free.
Okay.
Who are you going to choose? And be honest with yourself. Who are you going to choose?
Whoever,
who are you most likely to choose?
Whoever is best for the job.
You have 2 right here. One that says went to, I don't know, so-and-so school.
Do you go around asking your doctors how much they paid for college?
I did not. But now I'm asking you, like I'm asking
you why this even makes sense. Because do you go to your doctor and say, what college did you go to? Where did you get your medical degree? Because if it's not Harvard, Stanford, or wherever,
no,
then
I'm not saying where. I'm not saying you're trying to turn. I'm just using this example.
Turning your argument against you.
You're turning my example against me, and
of course.
I get it and I understand. But no, I'm saying like,
tell me. I'll answer this question if you can make it make sense.
It's not a.
Why does how they pay for college make a difference to their ability?
Because, okay, one of them, you're using money that comes out of your own pocket, so you're going to use it wisely. The other one, you're not, you have no repercussions on how that money or how that time is spent. So you can either be there, granted, this isn't an argument for like everybody, right? Because somebody can go into it for free and actually like do better than somebody actually paying for it. But my point of view is if you actually see the money coming out of your bank account, you're actually not going to waste it. There's a lot of, and it's literally true. There's examples everywhere right now, right? Look at the free education system that we have right now.
Are you suggesting that a doctor who didn't pay for college and a doctor that did pay for college, that the doctor who didn't pay for college is a less qualified doctor?
They could be equally qualified, but I feel like
So let's assume
I would
that they
trust.
both are
I would
equally
trust
qualified.
I would trust the. Okay, if they're both equally this was my example right here, and this is where you're digging deeper into my example.
I want to dig deeper.
You literally are saying my example again.
I am. I want
Right.
because I want you to make it make sense.
And I was, but now you're using my thing against me, where I literally told you that they have everything is equal,
Okay.
right? But one of them paid for their way through college. One of them paid their way to get their doctorate, and the other one didn't.
Right.
Right. That everything else is equal.
Okay.
All right.
And you're asking me, you want me to pick the person that paid for their college,
I'm asking you to be truthful. Who would you decide?
the most qualified person.
So you wouldn't
I would not
if
ask
they
them how
give
to
you
pay
if
for
they
their
gave you the stats, if they gave you the stats and they're like one of them paid their way, the other one didn't.
If this is how you view right now the medical system, then when you go to your dentist, do you ask them what college they went to?
No, I don't go to dentist, so
Fine. When you go to the doctor, do you ask them what college they went to?
no,
Not at all, right?
nope.
So why would I ask them?
I'm just saying as an example.
I understand. The
I'm not
example.
saying that this is a real world example. I'm just throwing out a little scenario, a little test.
Okay, then I'll pick the person that is most qualified.
All right, that would be your. Because if it was me and if I was looking at them through.
You're gonna ask them how much. You're gonna ask them how much they paid for college.
I'm telling you that if I was looking at their resumes or whatever,
Okay.
like it's telling their like MMA, right? They're giving you their stats and all that right there, right? And one of them said paid, the other one said went to free. If I was just viewing that, I would go to the one that paid their way to college.
I'm still trying to figure out how that makes sense.
Because I just finished telling you that when it's your money coming out of your own pocket, you take
You'll
it.
try
you don't-
harder.
They try harder.
Even though they both, you just said right now, they both achieved the same level of education.
Right.
They both did exactly the same in their
Yes.
test scores.
Yes.
They both did so they're both equally qualified doctors.
Yes.
You would still pick the one that paid for it.
Yes, I would.
That doesn't make sense.
How doesn't it make sense?
I'm
just
this
telling
is a
you-
medical doctor. Why?
I'm just-
Why does how they paid for their their education make sense? Just because. So you're saying that a person who got it for free is not going to work as hard as a person that's paid for it? That's an assumption.
It is.
That's a big assumption.
And it's an actual true assumption.
I
Because
don't
look at
think it is.
look at our free educational system right now, and look at how many people take it for granted and don't actually go through all like what they're trying to do. I literally just finished telling you right now that people switch up, like they have financial aid, they have all these grants and all this.
And people that pay for college do the same thing.
They do, but at a lesser rate
You
than
don't have
people that go.
any proof that that is accurate.
And you know what's funny? Because I'm not gonna look at any of this
I
up
know
because
you're
this
not.
was
That's
because this
what I'm
was
saying. This is a big assumption. You don't have any proof to that claim. This is just a straight up assumption how you think the world works, and I'm going to disagree with you there.
It's actually
because-
not really because I mean, like, I don't want to give out like much information, but the place where I work, I'm just gonna use an example, right?
Okay.
There's a place that I work at, right? That the example is, it's there, right? It's a real world example, right? Some people are given something for free, and they don't take care of it. The people that actually have to pay for it take amazing care of it. Why? Because it's their money that's actually coming out of their pocket. They're proud of this thing. The
Okay.
people that are not paying for it, all right, don't take care of it.
There's a huge
Right.
difference in your argument here, though, when you're trying to compare the two. Both doctors had to work to achieve their degree.
Right.
One person had to work to live in a house. The other person didn't have to work to live in their house. So you're saying the person that didn't have to pay doesn't really care,
Exactly.
and the person that paid did have to care.
Yes.
Now I agree with you when it comes to their own personal property, but we're not talking about personal property here. We're talking about
I'm giving
two
it
people.
I'm giving it as a real world example because it's a true example.
It's an
all right?
example,
and
but
I'm putting my
But this is called the false equivalency.
how
These aren't the same things.
they're not, but it's still human nature though. It's still revolves
So the
around
doctor that
almost the
got his
same
degree
thing.
for free doesn't take his degree serious.
I didn't say that. I said most people are not gonna, if you're getting it for free, are not gonna.
Fine, most doctors that got their degree for free did not take their degree serious,
I mean,
even though they both had to work to achieve that degree at the same level.
all I'm saying is that, like, be realistic. If you were looking at the stats on a piece of paper and you saw one that paid for their degree and the other one that didn't, I know you. Okay,
I would not. I would.
okay. You know what? I actually do agree with you. Actually, the way how you are, I do think that you're actually being truthful. Because
I would pick the person most qualified for, like, hey, my brain hurts. All right, I have a brain disease. I want the best doctor available. I don't care how they got their degree. I don't care.
And like I'm telling
if one paid for it and one didn't pay for it. If one paid off their student loans or didn't. I want the person who's gonna fix my brain.
Bro, the stats on the whatchamacallit, on the paper, on the screen are exactly the same.
Except
the
for
only
how much they
one
paid.
difference would have been one gives you an example
Then
of
I flip a coin. It really doesn't matter at that point.
Really?
I'll be like, oh, awesome. There's 2 doctors that can fix my brain. It doesn't matter who's available. Who can fix me fastest? Who's available right now? Because I'm dying and I need to get this brain fixed.
So if you're dying, you'd
I'd want the person who can fix me now because you said they're both equally qualified, right?
yes,
Then whoever can fix me fastest.
but you had to choose
Yeah, whoever can fix me fastest.
out of those 2 equal
On
things.
that stat sheet, does it show me who? So you're saying out of the stat sheet, the
and
only
they're both
difference,
qualified candidates.
then I
that
flip a coin. I
you
really flip a
oh
coin.
my god, you're such.
No, I flip a coin. I will not say that the person who did it for free or the person who paid for it because that doesn't matter. That doesn't make any difference to their abilities, does it?
And this is a life saving
Yeah.
thing.
Absolutely.
That you flip a coin for.
100%.
All right. You know what's sad? I actually do agree with you that you would do that.
One doctor is not more qualified than the other, right?
Right.
So what's the difference?
Just one of them paid and one of them got free.
That makes no difference then to me because I'm the patient.
Yeah, so you would want the one that you
would want-
assume would be the best. Even though they're both equally qualified, you're not telling me that there's
I
a
don't
little
have-
part in your brain.
No, there isn't because you're telling me if I have to assume that one is better than the other, based off what? How they paid for it? That wouldn't even compute.
Damn,
That wouldn't even make its way into my brain.
this is where you're gonna die.
No, this is why I'm gonna live because you're gonna be out there. Who went to what college? I need to know first. When you don't know.
First of
which
all, I'm not
college
going
is
out
what.
there and asking. I'm not asking. This was just an example.
hypothetical, right.
Hypothetical because I wanted to see how your brain works.
Right,
and now I
and
can
in
see
this hypothetical, you would die because you're trying to figure out who paid for theirs and who didn't. You're gonna spend so much time in this hypothetical.
In this
figuring out which one
hypothetical,
of your medical people-
I would choose the one that paid for their college. They're because like I said, and this is my reasoning on why I would, because like I said, when it is your hard-earned money going into whatever field you're going into, you tend to not go into it like, all, how do you say it, like
See,
carefree.
That's where what your argument here doesn't apply to the scenario, because in this scenario you already told me that both doctors are equally qualified.
Yes, but I'm telling you, okay,
That both doctors, neither one is better than the other in the medical field.
right,
Both doctors can be the same person. You couldn't even be able to tell them apart.
right.
The only thing you're looking at is how much they paid for their college.
Yes. Because
doesn't make sense
I'm
why you
telling
would
you,
think
like, they can both be equally qualified, but like I'm telling you, like,
You would assume that one took it more serious. Now
Yes.
that's a huge assumption.
it is. And it's a true, based on real world scenarios, it's a true assumption.
No.
No, it's
No, I
not.
disagree. No. Now you're equating their qualifications to people's personal property, like getting a free car versus a
could
car
be-
that you had to pay
but,
for
like,
yourself.
I'm even telling
Like
you,
the person that has a Jaguar.
I'm
who got
telling
it
you
for free
about
from the
our
parents.
educational system right now. Look how many people are. This is a reason
right,
why.
you're right.
This is a reason
Okay.
why we are ranked low in the
you know what? And
educational system.
I agree with you there. Okay, you're right. Not everybody should go to school. Not everybody should spend their time behind a desk trying to figure out, how to read and do things like that, right?
Right.
But in these examples, let's take it back to way back when, before school was public and school was free to everyone.
Right.
What percentage of the population knew how to read?
Right.
Knew basic math, knew basic skills. It wasn't very many of them. Basically, the only way you knew how to read back then is if your parents taught you how to read. If you were lucky enough that your parents knew how to read, that they could teach you how to read.
Right.
Or you had to get lucky enough that a neighbor took the time to teach you how to read or teach you how to do math.
Right.
That's how things got done back in the day. So it was a very small percentage of people that were able to do those kinds of things. And thus, you think about how society advanced in those days. It was
Right.
very slow, very prolonged. Enter socialist programs. I know how much you love that word. Enter socialist programs like
Honestly,
free education.
Honestly,
You and I know how to read because of free education.
right. I will kind of fight you there because I am open to a lot of
may
these
not be
socialist programs.
perfect.
I am open to a lot of these socialist programs. I
All right,
really
well,
am.
we're talking about free education right now, and I'm going to tell you, it may not be perfect. In fact, it may be screwed up, but at the very least, it's doing somewhat of a good job because a vast majority of the country knows how to read.
Right.
They may not know how to read at college level, or even high school, senior, whatever, 12th grade level.
I feel like
but
you're
they know how
attacking
to
me
read. But they know how to read.
Right. Okay.
Like you think about this. Had you not gotten free education, you and I didn't grow up rich, right? Our parents couldn't send us to private schools.
Excuse me, I had a silver spoon somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, though. You and I would not be in the places we are. Not that we're in these amazing places,
Right.
but at the very least, we had a fighting chance because of free education.
Right. Exactly. Okay. And
Now, I'm saying is, a lot of kids don't graduate. Not a majority, but a lot of kids don't.
right.
A lot of kids take this education for granted, and that's fine. I'm okay with this because a lot of them don't. A lot of them take these opportunities and become what do you call them? Not dumbasses, so that they can help us, and help society advance.
Right.
Because even a McDonald's worker needs to know how to read.
Right. Okay. And I get you. But like I'm saying, to bring this back to what we were talking originally, no, I don't feel responsible to pay for your education. Like, because right now it isn't free. Right.
Right.
If let's just say if it was free, then this would have been a different debate, a different discussion.
But remember,
that we're having
free
right
is
now.
never free. You're already paying for free education
Right,
already out of
exactly.
your taxes.
That's why I'm telling you that even though it's free, it's not really free. But like I'm telling you right now, the forgiveness part of this,
Yeah.
right? That is what I'm telling you right now. That no, you are not entitled to me paying for your degree when I didn't go and get one. All right, like I said, I went to one class to take automotive bodywork,
Right.
and then that was it.
You
right?
made the decision that you thought was best for you.
Right, exactly.
Right. They made the decision that they thought was best for them.
Okay, now
right?
be a productive member of society and pay for your own bills.
And you know what? 9 times out of 10, I would agree with you. But when it comes to education, healthcare, and things like that,
All these degrees that all these people are, bro, all these degrees that people are going for to get. This is another thing that all these fields of degrees
Okay.
are there.
All right,
All right.
hold on. Let me tell you this.
Go.
You want to treat this like you would treat credit card debt, right?
Sure.
That if this is credit card debt, you have it, you're responsible for it, you pay for it.
Right, because you took it out.
Because you took it out.
Yep.
Exactly. So let's say you go bankrupt. What happens to your credit card debt?
I believe it is either It's not.
What happens
fully,
to the loan you took out to buy your car? You couldn't pay for it.
So okay, I don't know exactly how bankruptcy works. So
You go bankrupt, you're done. All right, 7 years, you can't take out any loans. 7 years, you're screwed. Okay.
right.
But your debt is quote unquote forgiven. Right. So
Isn't there something that you can't forgive though? Like if
yes, there is. Student loans.
right. Okay.
So that's my problem with this is that you want to treat it like you would treat any other debt.
But if you
like,
go
unlike
bankrupt,
any other
if you
debt,
go bankrupt,
you cannot get rid of this one. Even if you go bankrupt, even if the degree you got didn't pan out, even if for whatever reasons.
But if
and
you
there's
go
millions of
bankrupt, you get punished. Why? You have 7
Yeah, and
years
you
that
go
you
7
can't
years
take
that
out
you can't
credit,
take out your loan.
and then when
Right.
you do try to take out another credit card or whatever, you have the derogatory mark of that you went bankrupt
Then
already.
sure, then let's treat college debt the same way. You can go
But what's
bankrupt, and in
what's the
7
real
years,
but what's
you're
the
fine.
all right? But what's the real world ramification of that right there? Like okay, like what is it? Like you're not gonna go back to college or what?
No, there's people in their 50s, 60s, and even in retirement age still paying off college debt.
Okay, I yes, that's true because the college debt stuff, the student loan debt stuff is corrupt system. They're
I
obviously
agree. So let's get rid of it.
yes.
Let's pay off these people's debts.
No.
Because it's a corrupt system, because you asked a bunch of 18-year-olds who freaking brains haven't even finished developed. You've promised them that they're going to make millions of dollars and that everybody who goes to college makes tons of money.
And that's the reason. That's the bad part about the education system right
I
now
agree.
because they're telling you that you need you need a
punishing
degree.
a bunch of 18, 17-year-old kids who signed away on $100,000. I mean, you wouldn't sell them a house. Why would you sell them $100,000?
You can sell them a house.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. No smart bank would sell a house to an 18-year-old. Well, you don't even have 2 years of
Did
work
you not
history
see
at that point.
the housing bubble thing, whatever that everybody was getting
and,
approved?
and then you saw what happened.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And so what happened is they got bailed out,
yes,
right, to fix the system. We need a bailout now, and instead of this time bailing out banks, we need to bail out the people, because they should have bailed out the people the first time, but no, they bailed out the banks.
I mean,
When the house,
correct, yep.
so you want to compare it to the housing crisis, fine. that was a crisis. This is a crisis.
I mean, I get it, and I understand where you're going at, but
And even those people that went bankrupt with those houses, they don't own those houses anymore. It's done.
all I'm saying,
That was over 7 years ago.
I understand.
And they got forgiven.
I get what you're saying and all that. I still don't agree with it though. Like, it was your decision.
Well, that's why this is an ethics issue at this point. Not a legal issue. This is an ethics issue.
Technically, it is a legal issue
No,
because
but we're
of the
having a
Supreme Court.
discussion about
Right,
the ethics
right,
about it.
Right.
Right. And why I think it's right. Now, the Supreme Court is probably correct. It probably is unconstitutional, but I don't think all laws are just. Either.
I mean, I agree with you. Yep.
Of course.
Right.
That's why we're friends, because we don't think the law is always right. In this case, we're not always on the same side of things, and this is one of those that we're gonna differ, but I stand by my guns. This education should be free at every level. I want doctors can come out of nowhere.
Okay, so to agree with you, yes, I agree with you. That, like I'm saying, education should be for free.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, moving on forward from the student loans aside, right?
Okay.
I believe education should be free,
Okay.
right? That is something. When I said that there is some social programs that I do agree with that right there, right? I also agree with the. What'd you say? You call me commie? Well, I am the red. No, it's the red side.
Yeah, the red communist.
Yeah, I am on the red side, so no. So I do agree with a lot of them because it's just. I mean, I'm also quote unquote a good person, right? I do believe in Medicare, Medicaid, assistance. Money assistance, food assistance.
Yeah.
I disagree with who's getting there right now. But I do believe in society helping out society.
Yeah.
Right. So, but here's the bad part about these government funded subsidies, that the government is funding them. So on the educational system, if you're getting free education, you're getting free education from the government and the government's curriculum. So once again, every 4 years, the curriculum can change. Look at red states versus blue states,
okay,
right?
But even in college right now, the curriculum is still in some way, shape, or form being determined by the government.
Right, exactly. But okay, yes,
Even
it is
now.
Yes,
Even
but
now
like I'm
that you
telling
have to pay for it. I mean, you get your accreditation not from other colleges. You get your accreditation from the government.
that's true. No,
So
but
they
like I'm
already
saying,
determine what it takes to be an actual college.
Yeah, but like I'm telling you, that every 4 years, obviously, there's another administration, or if not, the same administration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I'm not really for free schooling would be because what if a president that I don't agree with or you don't agree with goes on there and says, okay, you know what? How about instead of 4 years to become a doctor, now you got to do 6 years.
Okay.
Or 8 years to become a doctor. So no matter what, it's always governed, obviously from the top, but they can always bring down these other, like, they can add in, for instance, I'm not going to go there.
But see, that's what I'm saying. There's no difference to a free one and one you have to pay for, because both of them are regulated by the federal government.
I know, but right now,
the federal government's standards for education.
Yes, but yes and no, because you can still, okay, yes and no, because you can still be taught different. In the ones that you're paying for, like for instance, let's just say Christian schools.
Okay.
Right? Like obviously Christian schools and public schools are different schools, because in Christian schools, obviously, you're taught the Bible. In public schools, you're not, some teachers do it, some teachers, but mainly, you can't really talk about religion in classes.
No, they do have religious history in high schools now.
History.
Yeah, religious history.
Yeah, but not like not full on. You're gonna read a scripture every single day, and you're gonna pray to you know.
That's called indoctrination.
That's called the Christian school. Yes.
Right.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm telling you. That you are being taught different, and you're being taught their standards of it. You know, like for instance, like I said, for Christian schools, you're obviously going to be taught different than public schools. Like Christian schools, Muslim schools, like any kind of school that you pay for, no matter what, you're always going to get a different style of education. Obviously, still mandated through the government, because they do set these standards.
Yeah.
But through a public school, it's this. I can't get into it. No.
Well, yeah, because even in a Christian school, they still have to teach evolution.
That's what you think.
No, they still do.
I know.
It has to be taught alongside. Otherwise, biology just doesn't make sense.
I agree. I can see your point of why you believe that student loan forgiveness should be that it should be forgiven.
Yeah.
You know, in most cases, when student loan is taken out at the age of 18 and you're coerced into doing it, you know, because you're 18, you're still a naive little kid, you know, we agree that that's bad.
Yeah.
You know, that's terrible. Like I said earlier, that the whole student loan bullshit going on is very corrupt. You know, another reason it's corrupt is because you have since elementary school that you need a higher form of education to make it in society, when that's not true.
Yeah.
You know, you can go into
That was
any
the lie
trades.
that was sold by the higher education people.
Exactly. You know why? Because they're like, okay, if
They're
you
scam
go,
artists.
yes, you're going to our schools where we're paying these professors literally a shit ton of money. So in order to keep these professors paid,
Well,
we're
it's not even the
charging you a
professors.
shit ton of money. I know, but like you're still the professors at Harvard, at Stanford, at, you know, name any of these Ivy League schools, you know, they're getting paid.
It's administrators. They're the ones that
Also,
get paid.
well, yes, also, you know, but
Yeah.
the teachers are also getting really good.
Well, they're making decent. They're not starving. But I'm saying, if you want to talk about the millions, who's
No,
making it
yeah,
and
okay.
where's the corrupt people coming from?
Agreed.
college
And these are the
administrators.
people that are telling lower people that they're like, no, you need to hire your education.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're a pristine Ivy League school, and this is what you need. This is how much it costs. So, you can't pay for it. Okay, we'll give you student loans, and just so you can have the Harvard or Stanford, whatever, on your job title, like with my example earlier.
In the world care about what college you went to, not the fact that you qualified.
I didn't
but
say
what
that. I
college you went
said
to.
if you paid.
There you go.
I never said
That's
what
even
college
less
you went
important.
to. It is. I said if you paid, right? But because this is real world examples right now that there are a lot of people that apply for jobs and have. This is why a lot of people's degrees are useless because you come out of school, people telling you that you're worth so much money, so you're trying to get a job that's already saturated in lawyers. I wouldn't say doctors because we're in short supply of doctors, you know, but any other field that requires you to get liberal arts, you know,
Yeah.
like any field that. I'm using liberal arts right now because the liberal arts is like one of the most saturated ones out there right now. You know, it really is. It's like
I think there was also one that's not doing very well once you come out. It's women's studies.
Oh,
you get
yes,
your
yes.
PhD in women's.
yes, that right there. Yeah,
you know,
so
whatnot, so-
and a lot of people are going into it because they believe that the world is going that route.
Yeah.
But it's not. You know, we still need plumbers, we need mechanics, you know, we need construction workers and all that
I
right
seen
there.
that. Stop trying to be an influencer. We need
Yes,
mechanics.
literally. No, but like I'm saying, so it's oversaturated. You come out of this college being indoctrinated that you're worth $200,000 a year,
Yeah.
and you took out $120,000 loan.
Right.
So they're making it. That's how they sweetheart the deal, where they're saying you'll be able to pay it off within a year if you really, you know, buckle down and whatever, because you're worth this much.
Right.
You know, a lot of people, a lot of employers care more for real world experience than they do your degree.
But yeah, at the end of everything, the market decides how much you're worth.
Yes.
And yeah, I agree that they were lied to, and you know they were told, "Hey, you're going to be worth this much." And why wouldn't they believe it? They're a bunch of 18-year-old kids.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So, you know what? You're kind of convinced. You're in a way. You're slightly convinced. You're slightly off topically convincing me.
I'm using your own.
that-
I'm just saying, I'm using your own argument,
No.
your own logic against it. I'm saying
No, because like I said, I am for like.
the reason you're saying that, one of the reasons you're using for why they're making such poor decisions is their age.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
So maybe we shouldn't tie these people to $100,000, $200,000 loans.
No, you
Because
shouldn't.
of their age.
That's I 100% agree with you.
Because a government mandated institution coerced these children. Let's call them that. These children. Of course, I'm being exploitative here, but convince these children to sign these $100,000 lifelong loans that you cannot escape. I think the government should probably help in getting them off of these loans.
Yeah, and now that's my problem right there is that it's not
government
the
helped
government's
trick them.
money though. It's my money.
Of course, it's your money. It's your money that
And I need it
help
now.
build these
That's it.
shitty roads.
But
You
like
know,
I- but
it's
like
your
I'm
money
saying-
that's dropping bombs on kids in in the Middle East.
Right.
So if my money
Hey.
can be used to drop bombs on kids, my money can be used to help a liberal arts student, figure out the next 4 years of their life and how they're going to be a productive member in society, whether for good or for worse. How they're going to be productive.
Right. The way, but this is my
If they
point.
spend 8 years in
this
college,
is my
I don't
point.
care.
This is my point right here, though, is that at the end of the day, even though you were lied to and you were coerced into taking out this, it's still your responsibility. So like I said, once again, if I took out a loan to pay for whatever, it doesn't matter, right? I'm just using it because I know your arguments already, and I'm gonna say that I bought a car, and you're gonna be like, you didn't need that car. You could have done this. I already know your argument against me. That's why I'm not using this. I'm not using this example to put in any specific thing. But if I got a loan at 18 or whatever to do whatever the hell I wanted with that right there, right? It is my responsibility to pay it back.
Right.
Because nobody forced me to take out that loan.
Right.
Just like nobody's forcing you to go to
Then,
college.
Okay.
Obviously you're coerced. Obviously you're taught, that this is what you need and this and that and that,
So,
but
my response to that
it's
argument-
your responsibility
Okay.
and it's your job to pay off your loan.
So my response to that argument is that there's a sucker born every minute. Okay.
Yes.
If I can trick you into giving me $100, more power to me. You lost. I won. Right. But if since you were 6 years old, I've been telling you that when you give me $100, you're gonna be rich, and finally you're 18 years old, and you're like, I'm ready to give you my $100, and you're no longer a sucker. That was me. Like I said, that's institutional at that point, and I'm your educator. Okay, I'm not some random guy off the street. I'm your teacher. I'm the school board. I'm your parents, even, because parents have been convinced that this is how you're gonna get your kids to the next level.
Right.
So that's why I don't think this is a sucker born every minute kind of situation. This is why I don't think they should be responsible for this kind of.
So
loan.
what you're telling me,
And if you want to say that that's then tough luck, tough cookies, that this is that you signed it and you're shit out of luck, fine.
so you're
But
telling
then
me
treat it
that
like every
because
other loan.
I wasn't a sucker, I'm responsible for you being a sucker.
No,
Is that what you're telling
If-
me?
But here's
That's
the
what you're
difference.
telling me.
No, you weren't smart enough to be a sucker.
Hey.
Remember, you and I couldn't go to college not because it wasn't because we didn't believe that college would be.
No, trust me.
Fruitful.
No,
It
trust
was
me.
because
That
you and I
was my
couldn't go to
belief.
college.
No. I could have gone. I didn't want to go because literally speak to anybody that knows me and they know that I've known for the longest time that college is BS. All right.
Okay,
That's
fine.
always been my stance. Like
So would you
that's-
call yourself the exception or the rule?
I'll call myself the rule of the exception.
I don't-
No, like I'm telling you, like in your example, you're punishing me for not falling for
What-
the propaganda.
See, I don't like the word you're using. I don't like
but
the word
it's,
you're
but
using.
it, but it
punishment.
is what it is. It
That's not
really
what it is.
No, how is it not?
Okay, so
So my money that should be going for, and I get it.
wars.
All this wars, that's exactly right. I want to bomb that little kid in Croatia, whatever, like that.
Okay.
That's my God-given right, all right?
Okay.
You're telling me that just because I wasn't conned into it, I'm responsible to taking you out of it.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How is it my responsibility?
Well, I think you're using tough words here, but the way I see it is that it's your responsibility because the same way it's your responsibility that if I blow off my fingers playing with fireworks, my Medi-Cal should pay for it. You just said you agreed with free healthcare.
Only because I'm not getting into what I really believe about free healthcare. Okay, let's get into it then. I believe in free healthcare, right? But you have to show the obviously excluding illnesses, diseases, and stuff like that, right? But if you're this 500-pound person that does not want to put down the cheeseburgers, why do I need to pay for your healthcare now?
Because it's free.
But I shouldn't. Why? Because now you're being a burden, because now you're going more than me. I work out. I try to eat healthy. I'm living this, what I think is a healthy lifestyle, but you're over here doing the opposite. Why should my money go to help, why should my money go for you going every week because you don't want to put down the cheeseburgers? Because you don't want to put down the sodas.
Because it's free.
Yeah. And that's where I'm going. It should be. So I said it as a quick example of I do agree with it, but I don't agree with who gets it. I don't agree with and that's another reason. your money is going into it, you value it, you cherish it, you take care of it. If you're getting it for free, you really don't care. Why? Because if you had to pay for healthcare, guess what? You're not going to be eating all those donuts. You're not going to be eating all those burgers. You're not going to be drinking all that soda.
Now we're the fattest country in the world.
Because a lot of people get it for free.
Yeah, but even the ones
a majority of the people get it for free.
Even the ones that don't.
Yes, but still, they're like I'm saying, like. Even okay, you're not even if you're paying for it now, it's your responsibility now, and it's the burden on you. If you want to keep on paying for the doctor visits and whatever, that's on you right there, right? So now, why should I be contributing to your medical bills when you don't want to do the obvious like lifestyle changes that keep you from going there? And I'm excluding diseases,
of course, cancer can't help
all
it.
That stuff. Yeah,
it
exactly. I do believe that people that have cancer should never pay for their treatment.
Okay.
All right. I would give up my money. I would give up in taxes if there was which there is, like if there was a program only to be like, this is for cancer people,
right.
Like that's something I agree with.
That would be cool if there was, yeah.
If I can choose where my tax dollars are going, I would get it out of the healthcare for people that don't want to live a healthy lifestyle and put it into and fund the cancer treatments.
Okay.
Or whatever treatments that is human nature. Right? So that is you can't control. All right? You can control your body weight. You can't control, the stuff that you put into your mouth.
That's some dicey waters you're jumping into right there because not everyone can.
How can't you?
Well, I'm making this argument here, right? That there's a lot of people who are addicted to stuff.
Yes.
Right? And one of those things can be sugar. In fact, it's been said that a lot of people who are obese right now are just addicted to sugar and don't even know it.
Right.
Right. So
I was addicted
for sugar addiction. I mean, that you don't even know you're addicted to it because it's in every food, it's in every drink, it's in everything that you do.
You still can make the conscious decision to like not eat it. For the longest time, I too was addicted to sugar. I was addicted to energy drinks. I was every Friday I had to be. Well, this is for another reason why I can't drink, but like I made that decision that I didn't want like my coffees for right now. Like I used to put like a lot of sugar in my coffees. Like every time I'd go to McDonald's when I was working security, my coffee was a medium coffee with 10 sugars and 10 creamers in it.
Yeah.
All right. That was my thing.
That's a lot of sugar.
It is. Because
the creamer has sugar also.
Yes, because I was addicted to it. All right. I woke up. I figured out that this isn't the best lifestyle that I need to be doing. Right.
Okay.
So you can overcome these addictions.
Some people can.
Some people can. Yes, but it is your discipline and your mindset that doesn't keep you from that keeps you away from it.
You grind set.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just
we use grind set on this podcast.
Do we use grind set?
I'm just kidding.
that sounds sexy time. That sounds like sexy time right there. All right, but no, like I'm saying that.
No, okay, so I get what you're saying.
So that's why I give a quick example of why I'm for it. But if I give you an example of everything that I'm not for, because like I said, I also did say that food aid and housing allowance and cash aid, I believe in those programs. But then if we rewind a little bit earlier, I said for some people too, because I didn't want to get into it because I do
hate big government.
Yes, I hate big government. I really do. And like I'm telling you, is that like I'm one of those people, like almost every American, right? That I have both left-leaning views and I have right-leaning views.
Like most people, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to lean more towards the right because I'm more conservative than I am a liberal. But I also do. We live in a society that needs both of them together.
Of course,
There is no one without the other.
Someone
this
has
whole
to pay
two-party
for the
system,
bleeding liberal stuff, and somebody has to stop the right from continuously just taking rights away from people.
Right? No, so like I'm saying, that this whole two-party system is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
That's like it is what it is. Down. I want to say 60 to 80% of like Americans are just that's what they are. They both lean to the left and they lean to the right.
They're
down the central.
Yeah,
exactly. But what is it? But when it comes down to politics, you don't want to be. You want to be that's why they play into those hardcore, you know, like, oh, the Second Amendment, oh, pro-choice, oh, this, oh, that, you know, and like
Yeah.
that's how they get you,
course.
you know. But like I said, when it comes to these free, quote unquote, free stuff that goes out there, I'm for it, but only to a certain extent, and to who gets it.
Right. I think most people feel that way though, and that's fine. And you know, I'm probably not like that. Like one of them. Like I said,
Yeah,
education should be free and healthcare
Because
should be free.
one example to tie in all of my stuff that's free that I believe should be quote unquote free. This is my example for it. All right. If you don't pay taxes, you don't deserve it.
Okay.
If you don't put nothing into the
So
taxes,
if you're disabled and unable to work, you don't deserve any of the benefits.
what did I say about the whole
Demonic
medical?
said it here
What did I
first.
say about the medical system?
You said that it should be free.
That it should be free for.
And then you also just said that you can't use it if you don't produce. These people can't produce.
It was a quick example of because, dude, look how long this podcast has been. This short topic that we're supposed to talk about. Look how long it's been.
Stop digging deeper. Okay, here we go.
So,
Healthcare, free, but not the subject. We're talking about college and student loan forgiveness specifically.
yes.
Okay, you call it unethical. I say it should be the right thing to do. We're probably not going to agree on this. You know, we're gonna.
I agree to you in some points,
but not in its entirety.
not in its entirety.
Because I'm playing the extreme
Because
card
what-
here. I'm
yeah,
playing
I know you
on,
are.
on the far side of
I know you
it should just
I
be
know,
forgiven.
and I'm trying to meet because you are stating good examples. Like I agree with you that people that are preyed upon, you know, from
Right, and you make
from
the
18.
right, and honestly, you make the good ethical points about, you know, being responsible for your own loans and the decisions you make. And
Right.
ultimately, I agree that you should be responsible for those kinds of
Right.
things.
And now this is another reason, like I'm saying, that this is why I don't believe that student loans should be forgiven, because like using your example, just because I wasn't conned into it means that I get to bail you out.
Right.
We'll leave it at there because this one's taking a long while. And
And I say you were conned into it by the institution. The institution should pay that debt.
but I would agree with you if it was the institution's money, but it's not.
It is the institution's money, because the institution's going to take your money one way or the other.
Yes, but
The institution's money is always your money. It's your money when you're giving free food to people who don't want to work. It's your money when you're giving, you know, money to Ukraine when you don't want to give money to Ukraine anymore. It's your money when you're funding Hunter Biden's trips to China. Okay,
Hey,
So it's
he
always
needs
your
those
money.
trips to China, all right? Just
But
China.
That's why I'm referring to it as the institution.
Right, but deep down, it's not the institution, it's the American people.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll leave it at that.
Semantics.
Guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Slightly Out Topic Podcast, where you
went a
know
little
if
long.
I am the right one, Mario's the wrong one.
I'm the correct one.
You're
He's the right one.
in your mind. Guys, thank
Get
you for
it?
checking out this episode, and we'll
Right.
catch you guys on the next one.
Conservative
Peace.
pig.
All right, now we're really gonna get into the let me
Let's get into the actual
yeah
articles.
let me
You got to edit that one hella down.
Oh hell yeah.